And Maya, we'll start with you because this year something historic is going to happen, something kind of terrible, I guess, if you are worried about debts, and that is the federal budget deficit will exceed the size of the entire American economy. Debt to GDP will trump that of what it was in World War II. Will it matter, however? Because other countries, many of them, are just as or close to in debt based on their GDP. Do deficits and debts matter now and for the next couple of years?
Yeah, there's no question that deficits and debt do matter. In many ways, they matter for this very moment, right? You need to have a strong fiscal situation so that you can borrow during emergencies, and we are certainly in one. And there are a lot of countries that are worse off than us, and in some ways that helps because it means that we still have a lot of demand for our own debt, but it also means the whole global economy is awash with debt. And the real risk here is not what happens in this moment. There still seems to be plenty of room for borrowing, but the vulnerabilities it increases into our country and our economy coming up, because debt is sort of this invisible risk in your economy. We will be less prepared for all emergencies. We will be more vulnerable to big shifts in our interest rates or inflation or our currency. And you want to have a healthy balance sheet. The big mistake for us was we kept borrowing during the boom time. So we entered this in an already sort of untenable, unsustainable position. And this massive run-up in debt that the CBO is going to talk about today is going to demonstrate that that debt trajectory is now much worse.
It's not just that, Doug. I mean, the pandemic and lockdowns are going to change a lot of things. They've changed a lot of lives already in many, many ways. And this is going to change the way Congress thinks about spending, I would imagine. I mean, we used to dither. You know, I'm old enough to remember screaming about the $938 billion stimulus plan under President Obama. That seems quaint these days. $1 trillion to pay off student debt, people screamed. Now we're spending $2 and $3 trillion in multiple pops. How is this going to change the way future generations of Congress think about spending? Maybe it's just unlimited spending and debt never matters.
Yeah, you and I have both gotten old. I can remember being the CBO director and people yell at me about a $400 billion deficit. We're 10 times that now, and no one even blinks. It's quite amazing. I think there will be a reckoning, you know, not this year, not next year, but years from now, we're going to come to the realization that we're spending a lot of money on debt service because of incurred debts. Any country has as a minimum the requirement that it is capable of stabilizing its debt relative to its GDP. And the U.S. has not done that in the 21st century. And so future lawmakers, at a minimum, are going to have to somehow get us to some stability. They're going to find out when they get there that they don't have any discretion to go after new programs for the voters of the future who want something that wasn't baked in the cake in the 20th century. And that's going to be a tough political moment for them because it will be the reality that the debt does matter.